There was a lot of drama in the news over the past few days about consensus, no consensus, whether some people were even wondering whether the primary was going to take place. What is your sense of how your party was able to maneuver? And how did you maneuver to get to a situation where at the end of it, you can say all is well that ends well, but there was a lot of hell before the well?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. I think first and foremost, let me congratulate Nigerians that today we are not in any kind of crisis, because if APC were to be in crisis, it's the whole country actually that will feel it one way or the other. Let me also congratulate our new flag bearer, the Asuwaju of Lagos, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for clenching this position. This is something well-deserved for somebody who has held all these positions, and just hearing what you have mentioned about him, the little documentary you have, I mean, there is no question that Bola Tinubu truly deserved that position, and I'm happy that I'm part of it. Secondly, on the question actually about what has happened, you have to appreciate also what our National Working Committee has gone through and what our party as a whole has gone through. The drama actually started with the removal of the last working committee being led by Oshimole. The moment it was removed, then new committee came in to be able to set up the convention in 6 months. But when they came in, they realized we didn't even have a register. We didn't have this, we didn't have that. So they went through a lot, and that's why we as the working couple, we as the executive had to sit down and extend their time by another 6 months. So by the time they came in and they were ready to have a new working committee came in, we didn't have time at all. So everything was more or less in a rush. That's why I'm telling you, if you understand what we went through, and to say that we had a very peaceful convention, you will truly believe that we have to thank the Almighty Allah for giving us this opportunity. And for us to come up with we came up with, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a leader who was part and parcel of the people who formed this party. There is nothing more but to thank God. Otherwise, this state, this country, our party will have been facing different kind of drama today rather than celebrations. But what I receive from all over the world, because, I live in the US, I work in other places, I have received messages from Ukraine, even where they were having their own problems, from Bolivia, where I have some problems in the oil and gas sector, from the US, from the UK, people just thanking us that we have done the right thing, and that's the reason why the country is at peace right now. So once more, I want to congratulate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, congratulate our party being led by Senator Abdullahi Sule, and more importantly, congratulate our president for allowing us to do the right thing. And thank God we have done the right thing.
But who would you say was responsible for the way things panned out eventually? Just very close, even up till Tuesday this week, it did seem like the party would toe the line of the consensus candidate as against Asiwaju's wish that it be open. Eventually, of course, we see it was as open as it could be. But if you would, trace it now as to who spearheaded this, who would you, put down on the table as to being responsible for this eventual success?
I really don't want to go into any blame game at this moment by beginning to say this one person did this, that one did that, that one did that. I think in a political party like ours, the biggest party with 23 aspirants coming to show interest, definitely you will have different kinds of people showing different interests. So that is expected of a party such as ours. Everybody was believing and still believing that whoever emerges as the flag bearer will be the next president of Nigeria. And our president himself said, I want to hand over to another APC president. So with that in mind, you can understand the struggle about who wants to be that, who wants to take over, and all the kinds of intrigues purely expected of a political party. But one thing that stands out is the fact that there is a group of people who believe that even if it's going to be consensus, we must have rotation in order for us to have peace. And I think that's what we have done, as a people, and we are relieved that we have done that. But the bigger relief came when even those who wanted the consensus of just one person has come down to realize our point and to accept our point and to go in our direction. I think that's the happiness part of it.
All right, Your Excellency, share with us some of the intrigues that went down. From the minds of Nigerians, it is commonplace, like you talked about the issue of rotation. If he stays in the north, he should come to the south. If he stays in the south, he should go back to the north. But there was some level of uncertainty to the level where the governors, northern governors, APC progressive governors had to come together to resolve, to say, okay, let this power or presidential ticket be zoned to the south. Share with us some of the things that informed that decision of the governors to come together at that point.
Well, you see, there is no written, anything written anywhere in our constitution about rotation. But I've always, in fact, I spoke on channels, I spoke on NT, I spoke on all the other networks, trying to give example of myself. I actually come from Akwanga local government, Gudi station in particular, from the northern senatorial zone of Nasarawa state. We have 13 local government areas, 5 local government areas from the western zone of Kefi, 5 local government areas from the southern zone of Lafia. Now, our total number of registered voters in the 3 local government areas in the northern zone are not even up to the total number of registered voters in either Lafia, which is in the southern zone, or Karu in the western zone. Yet, the people came together and said, no, western zone have had it, southern zone has had it, we want to be fair to the northern zone and allow them. That's how I emerge. So how can I now be the same person that will turn around and say, no, whoever is the majority takes it? So I need to be fair to myself. So that's why I always give example of myself. But I'm not the champion of these 11 governors that have done that. So take it from me. We all came together and took the decision together. So, but it is based on that understanding. Everybody has contributed. So if it is winner take all, then even what Tinubu has said yesterday, if you look at it, he said, even those that did not support me, they have nothing to fear. For me, that was the golden statement actually that came up. And I think if we go ahead in that direction, you can just summarize it, that is the basis of our decision: fairness, equity, and the unity of this party.
Your Excellency, then, when the PDP presidential primary was held, they ended up picking up a northern line, the person of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. And when it was done, some people were afraid that the APC was going to try to make it a north-north candidate. Maybe that is why the party chairman, first of all, threw a pigeon, a cat among the pigeons by saying that Lawan was the candidate, the consensus candidate. Well, that one was neutralized later. When you governors were taking the decision to tell the president that you want this thing to go south, was it part of your calculation that the PDP's decision was unpatriotic?
I cannot really say that, even though we were all PDP. We were all PDP in reality. Most of us came from PDP. But we can't say that what the decision of the PDP was that. I tell, look at the history of PDP. Obasanjo was president from 1999 to 2007, 8 years. He handed over to Yar'Adua, who spent basically 1.5 years, maybe make it 2 years. After that, we had President Jonathan that had gone again another 6 years. So in reality, in PDP, you had the southern part of the country holding the position for roughly nothing less than 14 years. Okay? So if the PDP decides to actually zone it to the north, you can't really say it's unfair, based on that, because PDP cannot use APC as their ground to say that, well, APC has been in position for 8 years, therefore it can go to the south. So APC has taken the position, and we have taken, they have taken their position, we have taken our position. So now, for all those agitators of North and South, you have a candidate. All those agitators of the other one, you have a candidate. But at the end of the day, we believe very strongly in APC, we have taken the fairest position, and we believe even those in PDP who believe PDP was not doing the right thing will join us to do the right thing. That is my position.
That means you agree that PDP did the wrong thing.
No, I say I cannot say they did the wrong thing. Based on my own calculation, if you hear my calculation, the southern part of the country in PDP actually had ruled this country for 14 years out of their 16 years. So if they decide to go to the north, you can't say that they did the wrong thing. I will not be the first to say they did the wrong thing. I think it's up to them to decide.